A simple walk filled with historic significance. Today, for the first time in the United States, an article of impeachment delivered against an American president for the second time.
Donald John Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States.
Tonight is a reminder of how serious this is. First time ever that a president has been impeached twice.
This historic handover is setting the stage for another trial in the U.S. Senate, and no president has ever faced this after leaving office.
This is a big moment filled with symbolism and history. The biggest challenge that the House Democrats have is convincing Republicans in the Senate that you can even do this, that you can actually have an impeachment trial for a president that's already gone.
While we've impeached presidents before, no president has ever been convicted in the Senate.
This new attempt to convict Donald Trump stems from the president's role in inciting the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol back on January 6th.
Fight like hell.
His supporters invoking his name in this video from The New Yorker.
There's a million of us out there, and we are listening to Trump, your boss.
The article also accuses him of trying to subvert and obstruct the results of the 2020 election by pressuring the Georgia Secretary of State to find nearly 12,000 votes to help him win.
How much evidence do Democrats have on Donald Trump?
A whole book. Democrats have a whole book of evidence against Donald Trump. I think we're going to find that there was a lot more connection between this president and what happened at the Capitol a couple weeks ago.
This historic moment happening against the backdrop of the ongoing pandemic, as the man currently in the White House works steadily to undo the legacy Trump left behind.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Joe Biden has signed more than 30 executive actions in his first 5 days in office.
I don't think you're going to see Joe Biden or the Biden White House say much at all about the impeachment trial. Joe Biden has a hugely ambitious agenda, and the last thing that Biden or his top advisors want is to see the Senate tied up in knots.
A new poll found more than half of Americans, 52%, say they want to see the Senate convict Trump. Slightly more, 57%, want the Senate to bar Trump from ever holding federal office again. Back in 2019, when Trump was impeached the first time, the line was purely partisan. But this time, 10 House Republicans joined Democrats voting to oust Trump.
This may cost me my job. It may not. But this is the kind of decision that is worth putting it all on the line, because quite honestly, more time in Congress is not worth losing what I believe to be an honor-losing vote.
In private conversations that Donald Trump has been having, I'm told he has been quite direct in making it clear that it's essentially a threat that any Republican in the Senate who would dare vote to convict him in this impeachment trial, he will go after, and he will go after hard.
Over in the Senate, some fellow Republicans like Mitt Romney agree it was the right decision.
I believe that what is being alleged and what we saw, which is incitement to insurrection, is an impeachable offense. If not, what is?
At least 17 Senate Republicans would have to vote to convict, but a growing number are vehemently opposing the trial, like Senator Marco Rubio.
I think the trial is stupid. I think it's counterproductive. We already have a flaming fire in this country, and it's like taking a bunch of gasoline and pouring it on top of the fire. The first chance I get to vote to end this trial, I'll do it, because I think it's really bad for America. If you want to hold people accountable, there's other ways to do it, particularly for presidents.
Former Republican Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich also criticized the trial on Fox News.
This whole thing is based on, I think, a very dangerous dictatorship of the Washington elites. I don't think they have the right to tell the American people that Donald Trump can't run again. And if that's not the purpose of this, it has no purpose. He's already out of office, so they can't impeach him out of office because he's already gone.
You know, I think the question around mootness is not valid. I mean, I think the reality is that this happened. It happened while he was president. He uses presidential powers to make this happen. And it doesn't matter if he's not president anymore.
Romney also took aim at other members of Congress who supported Trump's lies about election fraud.
The reality is this is something that was made up, and it's had enormous damage. And those that participated in spreading that, I think, will recognize that they now have a responsibility to set the record straight and to say, in fact, we never did see hard evidence of a widespread fraud of the nature that would have reversed the election. That is something I think that's essential today.
Today marked an important procedural step. Tomorrow, U.S. senators will be sworn in as jurors. but both sides have agreed to delay the trial by 2 weeks.
My sense is that every day that we get past January 6th, it becomes harder to convict Donald Trump. That said, there are more revelations that come out. There is a sense, on part of some that, well, maybe as the investigations move forward, there'll be more information that'll be more damning. But what's more damning than what we saw on January 6th? He's been impeached by the House, but if he's not convicted by the Senate, if he's not banned from running for office in the future, then the argument is he's gotten away with it. There was no accountability.
If Trump is convicted and banned from running again, many still doubt it would be the end of his power.
So do you think we're seeing the closing days of Trump's Republican Party, or is a new book being written right now?
You think about the movement that is now built around Donald Trump. That won't go away just because you remove him from that. I also know that Donald Trump's personality is not one that goes away. I think he continues to lead even if he's not in a position of traditional political power.
Earlier this evening, I spoke with one of the 9 lawmakers who delivered the impeachment documents and will prosecute the president, Colorado Democratic Congressman Joe Neguse. Congressman Neguse, thank you so much for joining us. First question, do you think you have enough votes to convict him?
Well, it's good to be with you, Byron. First, let me just say today was a really solemn and important day as we transmitted the article of impeachment to the United States Senate, only the 4th time in our country's history, in the history of our republic, that has happened. We believe that there's a compelling case to be made and to be presented to the United States Senate that this president, former president, incited an insurrection that many of us bore witness to on January 6th at our nation's capital. Ultimately, we will present that case, and the managers are prepared to present the facts and the evidence. And my hope is that the senators will consider the evidence we present in an impartial way. And if they do so, I believe they'll reach the same conclusion that me and so many others, Republicans and Democrats, have reached, which is that the president committed a high crime and misdemeanor that warrants removal.
Republicans say that impeaching the president will only divide the country further. What's your response?
Well, listen, Byron, I think that unity is important. Healing is critically important. But we also need accountability. It's important that we ensure that this never happens again in the future, and that we make clear to future generations that this type of conduct simply cannot be tolerated in a constitutional republic like ours. It cannot be that in our country, the greatest democracy this world has ever known, that a president could incite an insurrection and avoid any consequences simply by doing so at the very end of their term.
And final question, we have about 30 seconds left. If someone who was in the Capitol that day in harm's way, what do you want the American people to know about that day?
It was a harrowing day for the Congress. It was a harrowing day for our country. The first time that the Capitol, the citadel of liberty, had been breached since the War of 1812. But I think it's also important for folks to know that we came back, that the Congress was undeterred and would refuse to be intimidated into abdicating its constitutional oath to certify the election results. We returned, and as you know, Byron, we spent all evening into the early morning hours on January 7th, 4 a.m. in the morning, to finish the work that we had started. And that was important for America to see. It was important for the world to see. Our republic endured, and it will continue to endure.
Congressman Joe Neguse, thank you so much, sir, for your time. We will see you down the road.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.